Hello everyone. Welcome to this edition of Dishing Out Flavor, where today I'm going to be making some cranberry blueberry juice or tea because it's going to have a high volume of water to it. And I'm making this servings for about like 20, which is going to then be about like 2 net carbs per glass that you drink. So moving on. In here, I have 321 grams of cranberries and 126 grams of blueberries. Okay, so to that, I'll be adding in some fresh lemon, some citric acid, some allulose, and I haven't decided whether I want to use the Boca Sweet or the Truvia. So it's going to be one of those two. I always combine two different sweeteners because allulose really isn't all that sweet, and I don't want to be adding lots of allulose into it just to sweeten it when I can just put about like 50 grams of that and about like maybe 30 to 50 grams of one of these. All right then, so let me get to it. Okay, here I have 1.5 gallons of water. I'm going to add that to the pot. So let me take that over. All right. So, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. My phone was ringing, but moving on. So after this gets up to a rolling boil, these berries are going to boil for about 1.5 hours. So it's 2:37 right now. So I'll be back out after 3 something. Oh no, it'll be a little bit after 4. Okay, so I'll be back after 4 to check on this. And I'm just going to get my lemon together. And the citric acid and the sweetener won't go in until later after I've set this aside from boiling. Okay, so let me get the lemon in here. Okay. And there's the lemon juice going in. And then I'm going to just throw the rest of the pulp in from the lemon too, because after all of this finished boiling, then I have to pass this through the mesh and strain it. So that doesn't matter. That's just extra flavor, more vitamins and nutrients. Down you go. Okay, so I'll be back at 4 after this has reached the rolling boil stage to show you what that is. And to that, I'll be actually adding a tablespoon of Acai in here. This is a nice superfood to have. I have this cranberry whole fruit powder, but I'm kind of iffy about it now because I just realized, you guys see that? They don't really have like a carb count or a fiber count, which is really odd because I know that it does have carbs because cranberries have carbs. Even this wonderful product that I use here, these dry cranberries, I use this for muffins and other things, like when I'm making a chicken salad, instead of using raisins, I use these dry cranberries. You know, this is a nice little company to use. I don't know if you guys can see that, the name, My Berry. And then see, they actually have, you know, the carb count and the fiber. So even whatever dry form or the fresh, it still should have something more. And if it doesn't, it still should have more ingredients to show you that it has no carbs, no fiber, and this doesn't do that. So I won't be adding that in, although those are from organic cranberries, it says. So Eco Taste, you know, if someone from that company is watching this video, you know, let's go ahead and make these supplement facts a little bit more. Give us some more data on that so we can properly use that. It's a great product. I've used it before, but now that I'm really looking at it closely, you know, I want more facts about it. Okay, so I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so just to give you guys an idea of what the juice is starting to look like. Still have a couple of minutes to go here. Well, actually, I still have an hour to go. It's only been boiling for about like 30 minutes. And as it's boiling, you'll hear the berries popping or bursting open, which is really great. And you see that beautiful color that it has. The blueberries help with that. The cranberries, it would be dark as well by itself, well, dark looking by itself. But when you pour it in a glass, then it'll be light. So I like it to have the actual look of cranberry juice. So that's why the blueberries are in here. Now, for those who love cranberry juice and you're not low carb, or you have a higher degree of carb, your macros are higher as far as your carb intake, you can actually use like blackberries, or you can use the Concord purple grapes. You can actually put a few of those in there if you want, because some people, they have like where they intake of carbs is like 200 grams a day, and you know that's fine, because some people are more active than others, and so they need more carbs. So don't be afraid to increase your carb intake, people, especially if you're very athletic but you're doing low carb and keto, because athletic people do need more carbs, you know, because they burn that energy, and carbs, you know, give them energy for that. Let's see, so here, well, you'll see there's an accumulation of seeds right there from them all popping open. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show, and I'll be back once these are finally done boiling, and then we're just gonna let them steep for an additional 30 minutes, or actually I'll probably just let this cool completely so I can go into the straining process. I think that would be best. Okay, so I've reduced the heat because I wanted you guys to be able to see more of the juice without so much steam. I mean, there's still quite a bit of steam going, but so you can see the color of the juice. And so this is all done, and what I'll do is I'll push the pot to the back, and I'll let this completely cool. And then what I'll do after that is then I'll take my fine mesh, and then I'll be able to scoop everything out. And you see all of that, the seeds and all of that. All of that will come out. And then I'll put the seeds in my mesh bag and then extract all the juice that's within the berries out as well. Waste not, want not. So I'll be back once this completely cools. Okay, I've decided to go ahead and add the sweetener to the juice while it's hot, pretty much like how I make my tea. I always add the sweetener in there while it's hot. That way the sweetener will completely dissolve. Good Lord. I put absorb and dissolve together. Anyway, the sweetener will completely absorb into the liquid, and then I don't have to worry about anything sitting on the bottom. Because that kind of like remind me at this place where one of my daughters work, and the iced tea, or not the iced tea, the sweet tea is never really sweet. And that's because once they make the tea, they put all the sugar in, but they don't really stir it properly. And she say when they empty out the tea, all the sugar is at the bottom. So someone is not doing what they're supposed to do. Because I've often wondered, you know, why when I go in there and I put a little bit of the sweetened, then the rest unsweetened in there, it still tastes like all of it's unsweet. So I don't know. Anyway, so the sweetener is in there, and I'm just gonna put the lid back on and then let this finish cooling off. Okay, dishing out flavor members, we are back with the cranberry juice, and it has been some hours and this is still hot. You still see the steam rising off of this, but I'm going to go ahead and extract the berries and just leave the juice so I can get ready to start straining it. Okay, everyone, I have strained and restrained and strained again until all of the pulp, all of the seeds, and any other little cranberry debris is completely out of this juice. So now I'm getting ready to put it into the gallons and see how many gallons that I actually get from this. And then I'll be able to portion it out accordingly. I want it to be like a half cup per serving. And so I'll see what that comes out to. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so this is what I have. And so this is a gallon and a quarter. So 1/4 of a gallon. And so, well, 1 1/4 of a gallon. So in a gallon you have 8 cups. So half that would be 16. And in the quarter here, this would probably be about like maybe 3 to 4 cups as well. So that's my 20 servings. That would be in here. So, because this is not even half. Half would give me 4 cups, which would then be divided into 8. But then that don't look like that would go. So this would probably be 4 cups, halving that. So yeah, so 2 8-ounce cups, half, that would be 4. So we have my 16 and my 4, and that's what I was making this for, 20 servings, so that this would be 2 net carbs per glass for the cranberry blueberry juice. So I was able to pull that off. So I'm going to wrap this up with the cranberry blueberry juice, you know. So I am very proud that this came out. It tastes wonderful to me, but then I say juice, but because it's so much water, it's more of a tea. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is like to up the cranberry flavor. I'll actually pour this quarter portion into another container and actually drop in some cranberry tea bags. I'll do that. Let me show you what that looks like. Hold on a moment. Okay, so I poured the tea in here and I just added in the tea bags, and that's 1 blueberry, 1 raspberry. So this will now become a cranberry, raspberry, blueberry tea or juice, whichever one you prefer to say. you can. So this is going to steep, and this is the one that I'll be drinking from until I'm ready to add tea bags to that portion of when I'll just thaw it out, put half of it in here, and do the same thing to that, because I don't leave all of this out to consume. I do an intake of it sparingly, even though per half glass is only 2 net carbs. I still don't want to overdo it just because that's low enough. And even though I use low carb sweeteners or alternative sugars and stuff, there's still the sweetness from the berries themselves that can still make my blood sugar fluctuate, because I am diabetic, so I have to be very mindful of that. So this will be the one that I will be drinking from, and this is going to go in the deep freezer for however long, probably for the next 3 months or so. So anyway, that's all I have to show you guys. So we went from boiling all of the berries from this here to extracting and straining the berries until we got this. And now we're going to heighten up the flavor from the berries by adding actual tea bags into there and letting that steep for an hour or so. And then I'll determine if I want to sweeten it further. Normally I don't, because I love the fruit flavor so much that I just drink it as is. Alright guys, so that's all I have to show. Thank you for joining this edition of Dishing Out Flavor. I'll see you next time. Stay blessed.